The huge level 13 beast decides to silence the arrogant human. In a flash, a giant muscular red tongue wraps completely around Lu Sheng, trapping him tightly as he stands there with a calm expression. The colossal red beast opens its terrifying mouth wide, planning to end the fight in a single move. Focused only on destruction, the beast swallows Lu Sheng whole, trying to devour him in an instant. However, the situation immediately gets strange. The beast pauses, looking down with a mix of anger and confusion as it senses a surge of power that shouldn't be there. On the ground, watching their friend get swallowed, Saya screams Lu Sheng's name in horror. Meanwhile, Tang Dun grabs his head in despair, unable to believe Lu Sheng was defeated so easily. But inside the monster, the battle is far from over. The giant beast's expression turns to confusion as a blinding light begins to shine from between its teeth. Suddenly, unable to hold back the power inside, a huge beam of white energy erupts violently from the beast's mouth. The energy acts like a sharp blade of light, piercing right through the darkness. The light is so intense that the surrounding army of smaller demons screams in pain. They are forced to cover their eyes to avoid being blinded by Lu Sheng's power. The massive level 13 beast, shaken by the internal blast, erupts with rage. It is absolutely furious, cursing in its alien language as it realizes the prey it swallowed is fighting back with incredible power. But before it can recover, a massive blade of energy sweeps across its neck. The attack is instant and deadly, chopping the beast's head cleanly off its body. The cut head tumbles through the air, its huge jaw hanging open in shock, before the remaining energy explodes in a blinding blast that swallows the area. From the flames of the explosion, Lu Sheng emerges. His body is now wrapped in a giant avatar of golden fire that gives off immense power. The beast's core, a giant orange eye with a star-shaped pupil, stares intently at this new threat. Realizing the danger, Lu Sheng doesn't hesitate. He shoots downward through the void, diving straight towards the beast's main body. In a panic, the creature starts to summon its defenses, creating glowing green orbs around its body. It unleashes a desperate counterattack, firing a chaotic storm of green energy beams upward to try and stop the incoming warrior. Lu Sheng begins to channel the full power of his stellar Tao. He compares the surge of energy inside him to the life cycle of a star evolving from its early stage to its prime. A confident, golden light fills his eyes as he realizes he is reaching his absolute peak, the moment of greatest power. Suddenly, his power erupts outward. His brightness and temperature skyrocket, increasing 10,000 times over in a blinding display of multicolored light. In this state, known as the red giant form, he moves with such terrifying speed that he seems to vanish into thin air. Lu Sheng reappears as a streak of living fire, charging directly at the massive beast. The two forces collide in the void, creating a chaotic clash of green and red lightning that shakes the surrounding space. The impact is devastating, creating a massive shockwave that stuns the giant creature. Coming out of the flames, Lu Sheng stares down at the beast with glowing, scary eyes. He mocks the creature, asking if it is only now starting to feel fear. With a final burst of speed, he cuts straight through the beast's green energy beam, falling like a meteor. The attack is decisive. The giant eye of the beast is left burned and smoking on the ground, muttering curses in its alien language as it twists in pain. Lu Sheng looks at his own hand, genuinely impressed by the incredible power he just unleashed. However, as the flames die down, he looks at his wrist with a serious expression. He realizes it is a shame he cannot keep using this form, noting that if he holds it for too long, the overwhelming stellar energy will completely destroy both his body and his soul. Lu Sheng senses a strange change in the energy behind him and turns his head sharply to see a swirling mass of purple mist. The mist violently explodes, creating a massive blast of purple energy that pushes the surrounding debris away. From within the smoke, a humanoid figure steps out. It is the level 13 beast, forced to abandon its destroyed giant body. The creature stands in the dark energy, shaking with pure rage as it curses Lu Sheng for destroying its body. Lu Sheng looks at this new, smaller form with a confident, almost mocking smile, asking if even that last attack wasn't enough to kill it. Lu Sheng admits that while his red giant form was powerful enough to match the beast physically, it failed to kill it because that form hasn't yet touched the domain of laws. Lu Sheng clenches his fist, which begins to crackle with electricity. He states that only the power that truly belongs to level 13 can kill a level 13 expert. Suddenly, a ghostly figure appears behind Lu Sheng. It is Lei Futian, the zombie warlord he defeated in his dreams. Lu Sheng reveals with a smirk that, by coincidence, he has the law of thunder from this very expert. With a crack of lightning, Lu Sheng vanishes instantly from his spot, leaving the beast confused and unable to track him. In the blink of an eye, Lu Sheng reappears right in front of the creature's face, preparing a punch charged with red red and golden lightning. He declares that he will use this thunder to completely shatter the darkness, unleashing a devastating pillar of blue lightning that swallows the enemy. At the same time, far from the battlefield, the backup finally arrives. Haijidao flies through space at high speed, wrapped in a blue energy aura. Suddenly, he notices a disturbance in the void and reaches his hand into a swirling pool of purple energy. He pulls out a strange, purple, one-eyed squid creature that had been hiding in the shadows. Haijidao looks at the creature in his hand with disbelief, realizing that he had been trapped by this thing's illusion the whole time. Panic hits him as he senses a massive burst of energy from afar. He knows that no one at the base has the law of thunder, yet that specific power just helped him break the illusion. Realizing something huge is happening, he rushes toward the battlefield to find the mysterious expert. Back at the fight, Lu Sheng is unleashing a non-stop storm of punches against the purple humanoid beast. The enemy, despite being a level 13 creature, is completely overwhelmed and helpless against the glowing fists striking it from every angle. Saya, Tangdun, and the red-haired officer stand frozen, their faces pale with shock as they struggle to understand how the situation flipped so quickly. The gluttonous captain, his glasses cracked and his face sweating, screams in terror and awe. He recognizes the energy Lu Sheng is using, knowing it is the power of a law, a power that strictly belongs to level 13 experts. He shouts in total confusion, unable to understand how such a terrifyingly strong law power can exist in the hands of someone who looks like they are only level 11. Saya is having a complete mental breakdown on the sidelines, questioning his own sanity for calling a man who controls the power of laws, brother. Meanwhile, Tangdun claps his hands crazily, jokingly crying out that he wants to go home to his mother. Meanwhile, the massive bolt of blue lightning summoned by Lu Sheng crashes down from above, tearing through the atmosphere with unstoppable force. Saya's awe turns to terror as he realizes the shockwave from the impact is expanding rapidly toward them. The group forces themselves to stand their ground, creating a protective energy barrier to shield themselves from the blinding white explosion that swallows the area. As the chaotic energy fades, Haijidao walks calmly out of the void. The exhausted group looks at him in surprise, realizing their backup has finally arrived. The gluttonous captain breaks down in tears of relief, shouting that they are finally safe now that the Lord is here. Haijidao looks at the beaten group and praises them for holding out this long. He looks toward the battlefield and asks with genuine curiosity which level 13 expert is currently fighting the beast, assuming it must be someone on his level. Seeing their hesitation and strange expressions, he asks if they don't know the person, or if perhaps the fighter isn't a human expert. Sweating nervously, the gluttonous captain corrects him. He explains that the fighter is indeed human, but he is actually a member of their recruit group, a martial artist named Lu Sheng. Hearing this name and the situation, Haijidao's calmness breaks completely, and his face freezes in a look of total shock.